What's up, guys? Nintenjoel here once again, and I'm very, very excited for this episode. This is a stunning conclusion to the shelf. We're going to fill up the shelf with this pickup episode. You're going to get a really cool episode after this very soon, and there's just all kinds of really good games in this pickup. There's just so much coolness. I'm like overwhelmed with joy, and you're going to see this shelf completely reworked with all the games put in it, and see if I can even squeeze these in. It's going to be really difficult, but yeah, all kinds of goodness. This is going to be kind of a long, supersized episode with all kinds of stuff, a little bit more pickups than usual, but it'll be worth it. So without further ado, let's go see what I got. Alright guys, I promised you an epic pickup episode, so here goes. There's all kinds of stuff. Just going to fire it all off as I usually say, because there's so much. Starting with a game that I'm not positive where I got it from, but I think I got this from a yard sale with a bunch of other stuff that was just like trade fodder, but this I decided to keep. It's The Hobbit. No manual, but it was like $1 or $2. So no biggie there. And then this came from a dude on the local trade group named Damon. I've gotten a few things from him. He's gotten a couple things from me as well. Also no manual, but this was in much better condition than my cart only that I used to have of Forgotten Worlds, which is a side-scrolling shooter where you can rotate your guys like 360 degrees and shoot in all kinds of different directions. It's actually really cool. Really hard though, but anyway, Forgotten Worlds, cool pickup right there. Thank you, Damon. And then, okay, the last trade night, there were like 2 little leftovers that got taken care of like a couple days later. First of all, there was case and manual only for Pokemon Diamond that came from a dude named Jeremiah that works at GameStar. He's also in our local retro group. The only thing is some of the paint right here on the inside is like peeling off. I have no idea why. Never really seen that happen before on a DS game, but it was really cheap. And yeah, case and manual, and I put my card-only copy in there, so now it's nice and complete. Hell yeah. And then, let's see, the other one that was left over from that night, I tried to get this, and I ended up getting it like the next day or a couple days later. Same dude that gave me the other Atelier game. Can't remember the name of it. Atelier Maruru, I think. But this is Atelier Shali on PS3. Another girly-ass looking RPG, but actually looks fairly cool. Nice and complete, and just something I can either trade or keep, because honestly I like RPGs and I'm willing to try it out. Why the hell not? But yeah, that was from Evan. Thank you very much for that, Evan. And then let's see what else there was. Okay, so then there's some stuff from GameStar. I went in there, and you know, it's funny sometimes because a lot of the retro stuff that goes in there I already have, so it forces me to go look in newer games like the PS3 section or the Xbox 360 section. And this time that I went in there, they like didn't have anything retro that I needed, like at all, because the other things that I got I think were from a separate trip. But anyways, I got these at the same time. Fable 2, which I've been needing and craving for a very long time. I haven't played Xbox 360 very much, but I have played a little bit, and when I very first played one, it was with Fable 2, and I was actually really blown away by it. It's nice and complete, and this was $3. That's how cheap this game is. Just ridiculously cheap. So that was cool. Fable 2, pretty awesome. And then the other one I'd never heard of before, but it was a Square Enix RPG called Infinite Undiscovery. When I looked at the back, it just looked epic as hell. It was fairly cheap. Both discs were in there, and it was in mint condition, and it was like cheap. And at the time, I had a ton of trade fodder and trade credit there, so I just went for it, and it looks cool. So I haven't played Infinite Undiscovery yet, but it looks pretty awesome. Okay. And then, let's see, I got a box only for a Nintendo game. We have Star Soldier. Actually, this wasn't a box only. The box isn't in, the game isn't in here. I did get the game with it. It was slightly better labeled game than what I already had, so that actually just went on my normal shelf, not on the new shelf. I'll put this box on the new shelf to represent it, but the actual game is in my collection. But the box is in very good condition, and I believe this was $7.99 complete in box. There's a couple other box only things over here, so I'm just going to set the box only things over there. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of room. And then, let's see. I got, this was awesome, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So now I have all the Castlevania games on DS, which are amazing. They're such good games. But this does not have the manual. It was a good price, so I picked it up anyways. But if any of you have a Dawn of Sorrow manual, please let me know right away. I will buy it or trade something cheap for it, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so... Oh, no, there was one more thing, actually, from GameStar, and that was... Man, I went in there, and my buddy Kevin was there, and he, like, caught me slipping on my own stuff that I collect. I have the hiccups, sorry. So that's why I'm like... But anyways, I was looking over the counter at the stuff they had in the back, because I'm not shy. I'll just look to see if there's anything back there that I don't have that's, like, not out. And I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm, like, not seeing anything, and my buddy Kevin walks in, and he starts talking to me. He's like, did you see that box right over there? And I was like, no, how did I miss that? It was a box manual only for Final Fantasy V, and I believe they gave this to me for $6. Pretty sure it was $6. It's a little crushed, but hell, it's a box manual for Final Fantasy V on Game Boy Advance, which I already have the game, so that's awesome. Oh, box only, so I'll put this over here. But, really cool. Funny that Kevin caught me slipping on something I would normally totally see, but whatever. Okay, here's a good one. I had just kicked my girlfriend's sister down a game. It was actually Pokemon Stadium for N64, and she was very grateful for that. She'd been looking for the game for a while. She had to, like, borrow a friend's copy to play. And I guess in return of the favor, I don't know how we ended up talking about it, but I found out that she had regular NES games, and she told me what she had, and she had one that I needed, and she just gave it to me. So, freaking awesome. Donkey Kong Arcade Classic Series, just the original Donkey Kong. Freaking amazing. So awesome. So awesome. So thank you very much for that, Anna, if you happen to be watching. But, yeah, Donkey Kong games freaking kick ass, and I, like, have almost none of them except for just keep watching the video. So, yeah, pretty awesome to get a Donkey Kong game for Nintendo. But, yeah, thank you for that. Really cool gift. Sometimes gamer karma does really exist, and it does really help. Give games away. Games will come to you. Anyways, let's see. So I did an online purchase with a dude in our local game group. He's actually from Roseburg, though, so he's kind of far from us. He's like, I'd say about an hour and a half away. And I got something from him that I've been after for a long time, and I don't know why. I kept the case around it. But for $15, he shipped me out a copy of Shining Force, the Sword of Hylia? Hylia? I can't remember. It's Hylia. Whatever. Anyway, Shining Force on the Game Gear. That's freaking awesome. Yes, I love Shining Force. So now I have the first one, the second one, this one, and Shining Force CD. Shining Force 3 is like one of my ultimate goals, but it's just such a hard game to find. So, anyways, thank you very much for this. This is freaking awesome. Can't recall his name off the top of my head. That's terrible, but I'm terrible with names. And let's see if I sit here and think about it for a second. It was... I can't remember. When I think of Roseburg dudes, I think of Chance. Chance is a cool dude. But anyways, thank you, dude. I'll put your name like in the little thing right here. But thank you very much for the Shining Force. $15 is a really good deal. Okay, and then I did I love doing trades like this. I love doing unconventional trades. My metalhead buddy Mandy, who lives in Mount Shasta, California. Freaking amazing, beautiful place. Mandy's this badass chick that's a badass metalhead, and she had a couple games. She actually has a bunch of Nintendo games that I might try to get off of her, but a lot of them, the labels are like really messed up and stuff, or non-existent in a couple of cases. For instance, she had a copy of Vice Project Doom, but the label was like 3/4 ripped off. I was like, oh, that sucks so bad. But I got one game that I've been after for a while, and I traded her metal for it. I traded her 2 Carcass CDs, and she threw in a CD, which was awesome. So really cool. But anyways, I got Norse by Northwest, The Return of the Lost Vikings. Hell yes, I love the Lost Vikings. I have the other 2 on Super Nintendo, so getting this... I used to own this a long time ago, so it's really cool to have this back. The manual's kind of trashed, but, I mean, it's there. The artwork's there, and definitely playable. I actually have already played this and had a lot of fun with it. Norse by Northwest. You kick ass, Mandy. That kicks so much ass. And then... let's see. Oh, speaking of kick-ass trades, let's see. What did I trade for this? Oh, yeah, I had a disc-only copy of Clock Tower for PlayStation, which is actually really expensive, but, you know, it's not the kind of thing that is going to get sold for really expensive, and so I was willing to do kind of an uptrade, and Trent was willing to get rid of one of his few Dreamcast games that he didn't play. He's not an RPGer really at all, but he's going for a lot of Dreamcast games, so I imagine he's going to try to get this back at some point. But I managed to snag a complete in-box copy, very beautiful, Grandia 2, in just absolutely wonderful condition. I mean, just really great condition. I know the CDs have a couple tiny little marks on them, but that's it. And Grandia 2, really good game. I already have the first one on PlayStation, so very excited to get that. And also, at the time, I had a disc-only copy of Grandia 2, so I got to trade that for stuff as well. So anyways, thank you for that, Trent. Very awesome trade. Okay, now we're going to move... Oh, no, hold on. We got 3 more things before we start really moving here. But these came from a really cool dude that also works at GameStar. His name is Matt. This guy is awesome, and I just learned that he's a metalhead and knows a bit more about metal than I would have expected. He doesn't really look like a metalhead, but yeah, really cool guy. I had gone in there and I kicked him down a couple things. I think they were just like PlayStation controller like sleeves for PS2 or PS3 controllers, and he was really stoked on it and offered to give me a couple boxes, and I was like, sure man, if you want to get rid of him. He's like, yeah, I don't have any use for him. I guess he has a bunch of boxes for game systems. But anyways, first one is Game Boy Advance SP Silver, just the 101 unit. I don't have one of these ones anymore. I actually just sold this one, but it was kind of scratched up and messed up, so it'd be nice to get another one that's in really good condition for this. And then this was badass. I do have this system, but it's not really working the greatest, and that is the charcoal gray 101 unit, the Game Boy Advance SP. I don't think any of these have instructions. There's like one piece of something in one of them. Can't remember which, but anyways, really good. Oh, hey, this epic part we're listening to, this is Gojira, by the way, or Gojira, I don't know, however you want to pronounce them. They're from France. Holy crap. Go check it out. This is the Link Alive. It's their live DVD. Really good. And the thing I was most stoked about, because I do have one of these and it's in like mint condition, and that is the DS Lite Silver. Hell yes. So badass to get a box for this. So thank you very much for that, Matt. That is really rad. I'm actually really stoked on these. These have been sitting in a shelf already near on my new game shelf, but on top where you can't really see them. So yeah, those are really cool. Okay, so now we are going to cruise. We're going to just fire through a bunch of these games. First of all, my girlfriend at work, her boss said this a few times, but her boss has like given me games before or traded me games. Not traded, but like sold me games. Anyways, he had more games to give, and this is what I got this time. We've got another box. Box only of Bad Dudes. I think the manual's in here. It is in here. And it's in decent shape. Not horrible shape, but I have the game, so box manual for Bad Dudes. Badass. Bad Dude. Okay, and then let's get this a little closer. And then we got just a stack of Nintendo games from various sources, but these first like 6 are from Daryl through my girlfriend. But Miss Pac-Man didn't have this for whatever reason. There was actually more games, but I didn't need them all, so I traded some of them. Then we've got Caesar's Palace. Hell yeah, it's pretty cool. I have that on Super Nintendo. And they're actually fairly fun games, you know, it's nothing to hate on. Then Castle Quest, I don't really remember if I liked this game or not. I remember trying it and testing it all out. These games were pretty trashed. Some of them were really, really, really dirty. The pins were like corroded on some, but I managed to get them fairly clean. But anyways, Castle Quest, didn't have it for some reason. Thought I did. Donkey Kong Classics, just a winner. So good. So there's another Donkey Kong game. That's 2. That's really, really rad, and it is one of the games that was in very good condition. However, there was writing, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there was writing with marker on them. A lot of these. A lot of them. Like, most of them. And Miss Pac-Man had a tear right here, too, but some were in decent condition, so that's cool. This one was in very good condition, and there's another Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Jr., 5-screw version, really awesome. There was writing on the back of that one. It says, like, Austin on it. But hell yeah, just really, really cool to get. Love Donkey Kong, and having a few Nintendo ones that I didn't... I, like, never had Nintendo Donkey Kong games. I'm not really sure why. And the best one, in my opinion, a little bit faded on the label, but Adventure Island 2. Oh yeah, so badass. Oh, it's got a torn bag, too. I can switch that out, though. But Adventure Island 2, A series that I just started playing recently and really enjoy. Very good platformers. Yeah, I don't know how I never played those before, but very stoked about that. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Daryl. That is amazing. So cool. Okay, and then we've got... okay, this was a big trade with Haven. Actually, this wasn't from trade night, but it was worked on during trade night, and we continued it a few days later, I believe, or maybe the next day or something like that. But I ended up getting a stack of NES games from him. He ended up getting a bunch of Sega stuff from me because he's after anything Sega. And anyways, I got a bunch of them, so let's get through them. We got Dick Tracy. Excellent label. Second one I've had with a just ridiculously good label. Iron Sword, which is actually a label replacement for me. I had this game and the label was like from here to here was torn up and just totally messed up, and I managed to reglue it on, but I think I just used it as trade fodder, or for trade fodder at GameStar. But Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2, that means I have all three with really good labels. None of them complete box though. And then Clue Clue Lands, I've actually been after this for a while, 5-screw version as well, and yeah. Very unusual game, kind of hard to get used to. It's like you have to play this game for a while. Almost a puzzle game, one screen at a time, very arcadish. And if you've never played it, check it out, but it takes a little while to get used to. So pretty cool. Stoked on that one. That was a game that I kept passing up at GameStar just over and over and over, and then when somebody finally bought it, I was like, why did I keep passing on it? But that's okay. Good label on that. Same with Balloon Fight. This is one I've seen before. 5-screw version also. There's a lot of those. And this is another one that I just never picked up for some reason, and it's going up in price, so grab it. Really fun arcade type game. I actually really like Balloon Fight. I was having a lot of fun playing that one when I tested it. Okay, this one's good for sure. This one's so good. Yes. I don't know why I've never owned original Mario Brothers, the one screen at a time arcade game that is just so much fun. Knock over the turtles and oh man, it's just a good time. So yeah, Mario Brothers, hell yeah. Trying to look over to see how much time has elapsed, but it's very hard to tell. Okay, and then we got two more from Haven. Xerxes. Yes, I have been after this for a while, and for some reason I used to think this was a shooter. I don't know why. I thought it was like an overhead or side-scrolling shooter, but it's not. I think this is like a platformer, and I've been after this for a little while. I love this cover. Oh, there's a big old cat hair on it. But yes, I really like this cover on it, and it's just a game that seems to be getting harder to get. I played it for a little while, remembered enjoying it, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like a action platformer, maybe a dude with a gun. Can't remember. Okay, story behind this one. I ordered this game multiple times, and it kept getting canceled on Amazon, and I think it's because they saw this game as worth more than what they were asking. There was a couple copies of this game listed for like $1 on Amazon, but yet on eBay, this game seems to go for about 10 to 15. So I literally had about 4 or 5 copies of this canceled, and really funny story, had a DVD sent to me instead of this game, and it was some stupid Nicolas Cage like love story or something like that. I emailed them, they're like, you can keep the DVD, but we're out of stock on the game. I'm like, of course you are. So I was really stoked to see this in Haven's collection. He was willing to trade it too because he didn't really play it. Thunderbirds, go get a copy pretty quick. Like, really, you might want to see about getting a copy of this. Seems to be one of those games that, you know, I just keep an eye out for once in a while, the games that are getting to be a little harder to find. This one seems very hard to find. I've never seen it in the wild. A buddy of mine online, Richard, told me about it, and ever since I've been kind of keeping an eye out, tried to order it, and failed, but fortunately I got a copy. So Thunderbirds, it's an overhead shooter. Doesn't seem like there's many copies online. Speaking of online, Holy Grail. Oh yeah, Holy Grail. So good. I'm so stoked on this, and I got a perfect label on it. I sold some games and just bought it outright. I just needed it. I just needed it. Wampum. Oh my god. Perfect label Wampum. This thing is like perfect. Mega Man clone. That just kicks ass. Except for the things that you get from defeating a level are not necessarily weapons all the times. They're more like abilities that'll help you get to other places. So in some ways, It looks a lot like Mega Man, it plays a lot like Mega Man, but some of the abilities kind of are like Metroid-ish because it helps you get to other areas, kind of like Metroid. But Wampum, go check it out. This game is rising in price rapidly, and it is really freaking good. Just go get a copy while you can. It's not going to be around forever. Okay, and the last two games I have for you. Just two games. No, 3 games. This came from my buddy Kevin. I got 3 games. First of all, I'm just going to show you the one that, again, I left a game in a case, I don't know why. He gave me this game for attempting to fix his Nintendo, and even though I couldn't, he was okay with still, like, letting me keep this. But I didn't feel good about it, so just recently I was like, do you want these 2 NES games? And he was like, yes, so I'm giving him 2 NES games. But anyways, I couldn't fix his NES. The pins were just ridiculously tight and, like, bent and shit. Yeah, and I don't want to rebend them. It seemed to me like somebody had bent them themselves or something. I don't know what was up with it, but I didn't want to mess with it further. Mega Man 3 on Game Boy, so yeah, that's badass because I just got Mega Man 2 on Game Boy, and I had never gotten any of these before. None of the Game Boy games. Never had any of the Mega Mans, and now I have 2, all of a sudden. Just happened. Rad. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, so you remember just recently I told you guys that I got a copy of Rockin' Cats from a trade with my buddy Jake, and it was a really epic game. It was pretty good for sure, but I said there was a game that wasn't quite as expensive, but I wanted it more. And I did trade for it, but I also got another game kicked in with it, so it actually evened out price-wise. But I also see the main game rising in price, and actually the other game that was thrown in is rising in price too, even though it's just like a $15 game. It used to be like a $7 or $8 game, so rising in price. This was the throw-in game that he ordered for me because I gave him Rockin' Cats. He ordered 1943 for me. I had just traded this recently, and I just needed it back. I really, really did, and it was a good copy. And yeah, this game's going up too. You know, this is the kind of game that you'd be like, oh yeah, it's $5, right? Right? No. It's not. It's like 15, and it's going to be 20, and it's probably going to be 25. So, you know, get a copy of 1943 while you're getting a copy of Thunderbirds. Alright, so the last game I have for you guys, some people may be disappointed because it's not as expensive as Rockin' Cats, but it's a better game in my opinion. It's something I've always been after. I've never run into a copy of it before, and I just had to have it. And when Kevin offered to buy me a copy of a game that I needed, if it was under a certain price, I was like, alright, I'm going to do it. So he ordered those 2 games for me, and he got a good deal on a very nice label, Rockin' Cats. And I got a copy of Power Blade, and not just any copy, like the mintiest copy I could find. This label is like shiny and beautiful. The cart looks unused. It may be a tiny bit on the side, but I mean, it is just a beautiful label. This is a rad Taitos action side-scrolling platformer. So freaking good. If you like Shatterhand or Vice Project Doom, oh man, or even Mega Man, you will totally dig Power Blade. I freaking love Power Blade. The second game has gotten ridiculously expensive, over $200. Not really holding out any hope for that one, but Power Blade, the first one, just like Rockin' Cats, I see the price doing nothing but going up. Atlas and Taito games on Nintendo, it's just going to happen. So anyways, thank you for that, Kevin. So amazing. Man, these 2 games, Power Blade and Wampum, is like filling my heart with joy right now. So that's it. I know this has been a long episode because there was just so much. I'm making sure I have everything, but yes, it's been a long episode, but so much good stuff, so much great stuff. And we're going to fill the shelf, and you're going to see what the shelf looks like. And yeah, it's going to be really freaking cool. And then after that, there's going to be a really cool treat because the next video is going to be a little retrospective showing off everything in the shelf, up close and personal, with all kinds of highlights and maybe some stories on how I got some of them again, just so you can hear them if you want to. But yeah, it's going to be really awesome. So let's get to the shelf and see what it looks like. Alright, that's it guys. There we go. There is a epic shelf filling for you, and wow, just wow. First of all, I can't believe how well these games fit together. It was not hard to put these together at all. Sped up. If I include the video of me putting everything on the shelf, it's very quick, but yeah, It took about a half hour, but, you know, not too bad. I can't believe how well everything fit. There's just a ridiculous amount of good games on this shelf. It is done. It's done. Stick a fork in it. The shelf is done. It's not even one shelf. It's actually two shelves next to each other, and I cannot believe that I managed to fill this up, and it didn't really take as long as I thought it would, but still, it took a while. It did take a while. Some of these pickups are so old, like the Super Famicom pickups are old as hell, and some of these Nintendo pickups are really old, but that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the epic shelf filling and of these excellent pickups, and just let me know in general what you think of the channel, where it's going. I think the next pickup video is just going to be just a normal one. I'm not going to be trying to fill any shelf or anything like that because I'm moving soon, so we're packing everything up. In fact, after the next video that you're going to see, which is going to be epic, it's going to be a retrospective on this where I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff up close and personal and just kind of talk about the stuff I got, and yeah, it'll be a really cool video. But after that, you know, we're moving, we're packing up. I'll do vlogs and show you things as I'm packing, but really, this is it as far as pickups until we move. I don't think I'm going to be able to film one more until we move, though I have enough games to film one more pickup. I don't think I'm going to do it until we move, so I'm not really sure, but either way, let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're already here, you may as well. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you very much, so much, for joining me on this quest, the shelf fill-up quest especially. It's crazy. I cannot believe that I managed to get it done, so thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate your support. You guys really kick ass. Keep rocking the retro games.